What's good, YouTube? Macex back with another video. Today we're continuing the positional rankings video. We're looking at the linebackers now. Think of it more of stand-up linebacker. I know it can get a little complicated. We're just simplifying everything. Think of your stand-up traditional linebackers. Back in the day, we used terms like Sam, Will, Mike. And of course, if you're new to this channel, appreciate you for clicking on the video. Very likely you're a football fan, so you subscribing and commenting definitely helps the channel grow. We're on the road to 2K. And for my OGs, I definitely appreciate the support. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop straight to the video. And we're going from our lowest ranked all the way to the #1 ranked linebacker for the class. And without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, starting things off at number 8, we got Golday out of Cincinnati, listed at 6'4", roughly around 240 pounds is what he's listed at. And this is a sleeper. And Golday, I really like his game. He's very serviceable. He's a high floor guy, comes with readiness, veteran presence at the college level, and he has versatility between the linebacker position and the edge rusher role. He's a redshirt senior, a 5-year guy, more of a day 3, but I think he's a sleeper, and I think he's a guy that's going to come in ready to be plugged in a backup role and contribute to a team. And within 2 to 3 years to his rookie contract, he's trusted with the keys at the linebacker position. He has size, he has maturity. I think he'll add special teams value because he plays with passion, depth, readiness. I mean, this guy was unranked coming out of high school, and that type of mentality you gotta like I said, he's a sleeper. He's not elite athletically. His ceiling is capped due to that in traits compared to some of the guys higher up on this list. Alright, moving up to number 7, we got Romaine out of Kansas State. A true junior, listed at 6'2", 245 pounds, stocky build. And when you watch him on film, you know exactly what his role is. He's a thumper. He's tasked with thumping and filling lanes in a very physical defense out in Kansas State. One of the more physical linebackers in the entire linebacker class. He's a tackling volume machine. Through 9 games, had 66 tackles, a half a sack, run gap integrity. That's his game. Now, coverage range and ability to weave in space, I wouldn't consider a strength from him. He may project best in 2-down or heavy front roles. If you're familiar with Alex Anzalone in the NFL, that's what this player is if he reaches his potential. He's a rotational starter, little bit higher of a ceiling than Golday, but nonetheless, I think this is a solid average starter at the next level. He'll probably go round 4, round 5. Next up at number 6, we got Drayk Bowen, true junior out of Notre Dame, someone I've personally followed since he was in high school because he is an Indiana native. Attending Adrian High School, which is up north in Merrillville, Indiana, a suburb outside of Gary, Indiana. And coming out of high school, he was the #1 ranked player in the state of Indiana at the linebacker position. And it is good to see somebody from what feels like back in the day. One of my first videos actually included him. But of course, now at college, Bowen plays with physicality and discipline at Notre Dame. He serves as a reliable part of the defense. He's listed around 6'2", around 235. He has solid range, though honestly speaking, he doesn't have any elite traits. His calling card is run defense. He's a really good run defender, very consistent tackler, plays with form, good at shedding blocks as well. Watching him over and over again, he's pretty good when linemen get second level. He's able to avoid, and he's very reliable in clean defensive sets. No elite breakout traits. Speed, athleticism, and space isn't necessarily a strength of his. His ceiling is more moderate relative to some of the other linebackers that we're going to see here later on in this video. Right now, he's a late day 2, maybe very early day 3, kind of that round 3 to 4. Solid starter, impact backup with room to grow. That's pretty much where he's at right now. Josie Jewell definitely is a linebacker. If you've never seen Drayk Bowman, forgot if it's Josie Jewell or Josie Joel. That's who he reminds me of. Alright, we're now in the top 5, and at number 5 we got Jacob Rodriguez, a true senior out of Texas Tech. Rodriguez is a proven lead linebacker in the Big 12. Overall, has great production. Listed around 6'1", 230 pounds. Essentially that prototypical size. Very smart player. Play recognition, very excellent. The awareness is very excellent. He makes up with his lack of elite physical traits with his reliability and apparent film study. High football IQ, proven production. He's good in coverage as well. I'd label him more as a coverage linebacker, but he does also have run fit instincts, as I alluded to earlier. With that lack of raw athleticism, you're not going to get too many splash plays or highlight plays necessarily. Think of a running back that you know is not going to break one for 20, 30 plus yards. If the play's blocked for 4, he's going to get 4 to 5 yards. Very consistent, very reliable. That's what Jacob Rodriguez is at the linebacker position. I think he'll provide excellent value for teams that need a dependable Mike linebacker. I see him in the round 3 range. Think of Logan Wilson when you think of Jacob Rodriguez. Alright, at number 4, we got CJ Allen out of Georgia, a true junior, and CJ Allen is your prototypical off-ball linebacker. Even though Georgia's defense isn't what they've been in the past years, I'd say, still nonetheless, CJ Allen to me is the best player on the defense. And typically when you say that about Georgia, that means something. Though his coverage yet is not top tier, his physicality and instincts make him a high value interior linebacker prospect, and I see room growing in the coverage because he can play in space. He's very athletic. He's sideline to sideline. He has good reaction and recognition skills. He's stout versus the run, and his tackling reliability is on the higher end. I'd say it's one of the stronger ratings in the class. Like I said, needs to improve coverage in space, speed versus modern running backs and tight end threats, but he has the traits to do so. Think of Nick Bolton, great tackler, really good instincts. CJ Allen, I've seen boards having him mocked as high as the late first round. I'd say the consensus right now is he is a round 2 pick. Inside linebacker in the right scheme, right defensive coordinator, and he still has room to grow. Even his stock has room to grow. We're in the top 3 now. We got Sonny Styles out of Ohio State, a true senior. Styles, a highly ranked safety, recently transitioned to linebacker, and he's thrived at linebacker. He's listed at around 6'4", 243 pounds. He's a hybrid defender, and in the modern NFL, coordinators love hybrid defenders. I remember growing up as a kid being labeled hybrid wasn't necessarily a compliment. It was more of a negative connotation, like tweener. Coaches didn't know what to do with tweeners. And thankfully those times have changed because we've seen excellent athletes with great versatility thrive in the NFL. Last year in 2024, Sonny Styles in his junior year posted 100 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and that demonstrates his ability to rush, cover, and defend in the run. I love his length. I love his range. He has elite coverage traits for a linebacker, and he's really strong in open space. You would expect that to a degree, considering he was a highly ranked safety coming out of college. And I think that that's really going to give him a leg up in the linebacker role, and that's why I have him so high. He does need to add mass for consistent box thumping. The move is so recent, so technique, physicality on run plays. Sonny Styles is still gaining polish. I've seen mocks as high as late first round, very likely a day 2 pick, but he has 3-down starter potential, especially in the modern schemes now. His NFL comparison, think of Isaiah Simmons for his hybrid linebacker and safety versatility. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out like we thought it was going to work out for Isaiah Simmons, but Sonny Styles is somebody that really reminds me of Isaiah Simmons and has a very high ceiling. We're talking all-pro potential. Alright, we're at number 2. We got Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas. Hill is a true junior. He's also emerged as a 3-down force and as the premier defender on the great Longhorns defense. He can play 3 downs. His blend of speed, power, instincts at 6'3", around 238 pounds is crazy. He's built for every facet. Against the run, he takes on lead blockers. He still finishes plays. In coverage, he mirrors backs, mirrors tight ends, looks very fluid, looks comfortable doing so. He's a very good blitzer as well. I've seen a number of times where he flashes pop and timing. Last year, 113 tackles, an elite 16.5 tackles for loss. But you got a linebacker in Anthony Hill who's sideline to sideline range, the explosion at snap, strong run blocking, shedding, great instincts. That's why he's a top 2 back. I actually went back and forth with him in number 1. It's not as consensus as what you're seeing online. For me, it's a lot closer. And because of the skill sets that I've talked about with Anthony Hill Jr., he has early round 1 potential. He might be the first linebacker off the board. If he continues to ball out, film holds, and then in the off season, there's a lot of time and people's stock can really rise. And I would not be surprised if we look forward a couple years from now and Anthony Hill Jr. is the top dog. His NFL comparison is Micah Parsons for his athleticism and versatility. All right, and that means my number 1 linebacker really is no surprise, and that's Arvell Reese out of Ohio State, listed as a true junior. Honestly, Arvell Reese might end up becoming an edge rusher at the next level. He looks elite as an edge, he looks elite at linebacker. Kind of reminds me of the Jalen Walker out of Georgia situation last year, where he was just so versatile and extremely good at both. Arvell Reese has more size, he has more range. He's listed at around 6'4", a little over 240 pounds. So as a prospect, I do think that Arvell Reese ceiling of versatility is much higher than a Jalen Walker, because he's explosive off the edge as a pass rusher. Like I said, he has the reach, the range. His arms look long, quick burst, and I've even seen him in the slot. So you talk about that type of versatility, we're talking early round 1, potentially a top 12 pick. He's a special weapon defender with versatility. When I see Arvell Reese, I think of Hassan Reddick for the edge burst and shifting roles. No prospect is perfect. He occasionally loses assignments when shifting roles, and his coverage instincts are still developing, not quite like a Sonny Styles or an Anthony Hill Jr. Like I said, he may be an edge rusher by his rookie year. Who knows? But the sky is the limit for Arvell Reese. He's an extremely good prospect. A modern scheme now, he's a defensive coordinator's dream in the NFL. All right, these are my top linebackers for the 2026 NFL draft. In my opinion, this is an extremely deep class. This is a deep linebacker class. Like, I enjoy watching film on everybody. I liked last year and in 2023, but I think I liked 24's draft class. I liked 25's draft class, but I think this draft class, if you're an NFL team that needs a linebacker, you got some options this year. And like I always say, if you made it this far in the video, I deeply appreciate it. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button. It supports the channel. We're on the road to 2K. You doing so really helps the channel spread to others. Be on the lookout for the next video we have coming. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheat!